good to go now. Hey ho everyone, and welcome to this interview featuring FC from the Void Villains.
Hi,
So,
I am FC of the Void Villains.
can you tell us a bit about yourself and your assistant manager?
Yeah, so this is my third time managing the villains. I managed with Dream the first time, and then I've managed with Mitana last season and this season. Uh, we made finals tiebreak the first season the villains were together, and then semis tiebreak last season. So we're hoping to run it back. And I think we drafted a really good team. So I'm happy with how all this turned out.
Yeah, so going straight into the next point, the selection of players. You said you were pretty happy with what you've been able to draft.
Yeah, pretty much everyone here I had like as a high priority on my planning sheet. So I was really happy. Like originally, we did have March Fires pretty high, but then he went for like 35K,
Yeah,
which was a little out
33K.
of our yeah, a little out of our budget, starting at 90K. So, uh, but we still had pretty much everyone here as a high priority just in case like we had to shift around who went in what tier. So I was really happy with how all of this turned out in the end.
Yeah. There was also this situation with Gotcha, I believe it was,
That
where
was funny.
yeah,
Yeah. I assume a Holy Ghost would have went high bidding, but he waited too long. That's his fault.
yeah,
You gotta bid before the 5 seconds run out. So Scrappy farmed him. So I got gotcha for 10.5, which at that point in the draft I consider a pretty big steal because it was just us two who had money. So and he
yeah.
could have outbid me. So I was fine with that.
All right. So do you have any thoughts about the teams you will be facing? Which teams you think might be a little troublesome, or other teams that might be pretty easy?
Let me pull up the final draft real quick. I don't actually remember all the teams.
Yes.
Um, I think I have full confidence in my team to always win. I will never be afraid of anyone. But looking at it here, I think the best ones are probably the Melmetals and the Vish. At a glance, I think Melmetals have like a pretty swingy team because they have a bunch of players who like don't play this tier too often, like Fade, Lax, Gondra, stuff like that. But they can all perform like really well. And then the Vish just have like a bunch of really solid players.
Yeah, yeah,
And they stole Shuri from us in an insane bidding war at the
yeah.
very end of the auction.
That was pretty impressive. Having such a high bid, I believe it was like the fifth highest. So light in the
Yeah,
draft.
yeah, it was like we both had like 40K left, and we were like the two richest teams, and we took it to 19.5. So I was very surprised with how that turned out, but they got him, so yeah, that happens. But we just pivoted a little bit, and then I think right after that is when we picked up Mako and Gotcha, which were people I had like very highly rated on my plan because I think they're very good players.
All right. So as for your starters, which one will you placing in which tiers? If you can give a little information about that.
Um, so me, obviously, I'm gonna be an SS. Uh, I don't leave my realm there. Torchic, RBY, Soulwind, SV. Those were kind of all obvious going into the
Yeah,
draft, I think.
yeah,
Uh, and then just going in order, like London only signed up for DPP. I think he tier locked everything else, so yeah, he has to go there. Tier SV, he did well last year. I think he went neutral or slightly above neutral for us, and he's really active. So, and I think just over time he's learned the tier even more, so he should be fine. Pay card. Some people might not know Pay card, especially if you're a newer player, because he used to play like a bunch of AG. That's where I know him from. I think he's really good. He's gonna be uh, SM to start. So I spent 12.5 on him, which was like I didn't know anyone would upbid him that high because he's been out of the game for a bit. But I think he's more than worth it. Um, from there, I'm not 100% sure, but like mostly sure. I use probably Auras, just because we have no like dedicated Auras mains. But if it's Auras, you just click buttons and see what happens. And then, I don't know how to say his name, so I'll just call him JJ. He's gonna be in SV. He's an incredible player in SVOU, so I think he can pretty easily translate that over. Mako is kind of the same, but in ADV, just like a really good OU player with like great results. And then best of three, I have no idea. I was thinking Gotcha. I don't know if he wants to play best of three. I haven't asked him yet. So like literally people are still joining my team for it. So I still have to ask him. I could just be completely lying saying he's in best of three. But you know, that's an option. I might move him, like keep him SV or whatever. And then BW, I also don't know if it's gonna be 3D or Li Xiao Long. I have to talk to them. And then obviously GSC, I can't have a team without Spellcaster GSC. And that, I think that's all the slots.
Yeah. All right. So as you said, you are very confident in being able to get to the playoffs and win this whole thing.
Yeah. Like I don't put people on my draft plans who I'm not confident could win any game with like proper support. And I think we have proper support, and every player can win any game.
All right. So do you have any closing thoughts? Anything you want to tell your competitors?
I can't say too much because I'll get clipped if we get fucked and I lose, then I get clipped no matter what, even if it wasn't an honest loss. But I'm gonna win, so that's about it.
All right. Thank you for being here. And
yeah, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, goodbye.